Here's how I spin these punched candle holders. Okay, so might be interested in these punched candle tea light holders that I do, and I'll show you how I make these, and it's a slightly different technique than just spinning solid metal. Obviously, you need to punch the blank first. I tend to map out a nice even radial pattern. You can do same size holes, different size holes, whatever pattern you like. I do tend to pre-polish the inside of the blank, so it's more difficult to get to after you're done with the spinning. And it is a little bit of a balancing act to figure out where you want the holes not too close to the edge, where it's going to cause structural issues in the spinning process, and not too far down to the bottom where you're going to see too much of the body of the candle. So I'll take this blank. It's approximately 16 gauge copper, and I've annealed it and polished it ahead of time. And then I'll set it up on the lathe and show you how to spin it. All right, so I've set the blank up with the right size spinning chucks and follower blocks. I've centered it and lubricated the piece. And there's a couple things that you're going to notice with spinning these pieces. This is a little bit more of an advanced technique because it's not solid metal. So you have holes in the metal before you start spinning. And you're going to hear just a little bit of a different kind of tool noise as I'm bringing the spinning tool over those open places. And also there's a tendency for the rim to be less stable, and that can cause kind of rippling and folding and things like that you could exaggerate on purpose, or if you're trying to have a more uniform sort of clean look, obviously then that's going to be kind of an issue for you. So we'll get this started here. And as always, I'm seating the blank. Since this is 16 gauge, it's going to take a little bit more force to work. There's that sound going over the holes. And I want to make sure that the rim is staying perpendicular to the axis of rotation. It has a tendency to sort of swing back on you, but you don't want to push it too far and have it collapse. You don't have to use 16 gauge. I just find that that gives a little bit more weight to the piece, kind of feels good in the hand, and also gives it additional stability with those holes in the metal. Just making sure it's to the right size and seated well at the bottom there. And then deciding how far you want it to go is really an aesthetic decision, how you want the final piece to look. And then also you want to pay attention to what's happening with the metal and the holes. While you're spinning, the holes are naturally going to elongate, but you want to make sure that the metal between the holes isn't weakening too much. There will be some small, slight tears that can happen that can come all the way up to the rim of the piece. So you want to watch that as well. But I'm tending to do most of the force of the spinning up against the base of the piece and not too much where the holes are to minimize the amount of pressure on there. Just a little bit of additional lubricant there. We'll give it another go. That's starting to look pretty good for me. The holes are elongating just slightly. I'm starting to get some slight rippling and tearing, but I think that'll look nice overall. And there's always a variety of different ways of finishing off pieces. In this case, what I would probably do is hammer on the base of the piece, just give it a nice finish there, and then probably just hammer slightly on that rim there to finish it out. But we'll just take a look at And see, it maintains, it gets a little bit dirty from the lubricant, but it maintains the polish on the inside and has overall just kind of a nice little form to it. So that's how I do those punched candle holders. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can hear from me when I post future videos. Thanks for stopping by.